Hey, what's up, home bartenders? It's your boy Nicky Biggs. We're going to Long Island today for a Long Island iced tea. I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect Long Island iced tea. You're going to need a handful of ingredients, which we're going to get into. It's a very boozy drink, and I'm going to get into all those details. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and throw me a like on the video. Let me know you're happy to see me. And finally, if you haven't already, follow on Facebook or like on Facebook and follow on Instagram. And let's learn how to make the Long Island iced tea, huh? What do you say? Okay, so to make the Long Island iced tea, you need a few things. Mostly clear liquors, a little bit of fruit, and simple syrup and a Coca-Cola. So, let's go over the ingredients with a little more detail. First, we're going to start with our vodka. I'm going to tell you about the measurements, but it's all equal measurements of everything. We're going to start with some Smirnoff vodka. Then we're going to move on to our Bacardi white rum. Then we are going to do some Blanco tequila as well. White tequila, silver tequila, not the gold tequila. And then we're going to do some gin. I'm using Bombay London Dry Gin. This is not the Sapphire. This is just regular Bombay London Dry Gin. And then we're also going to be using a Coca-Cola. I got a 16-ounce can, which is way more than I need for one Long Island iced tea, but it was $1 at the dollar store, so I figured why not. We're going to need a little bit of simple syrup. We're going to need a lemon because we're going to do an equal pour of lemon juice and simple syrup in this drink instead of using just sweet and sour mix. And then finally, we're going to need a lime for our garnish. Lastly, a couple materials you're going to need: equipment. You're going to need your shaker and your jigger, a knife to pair with, a strainer for your shaker, and finally a glass with ice in it to go ahead and pour the drink. So, before I make the drink, I just want to tell you a little bit about the Long Island iced tea because it does have a storied history. So, here's the history of the Long Island iced tea. Way back in the Prohibition, during the 1920s in America, there was this guy named Old Man Bishop, Charles Old Man Bishop. He was down in Tennessee and he made a drink that is actually pretty close to what we have here, except it didn't actually have triple sec in it. Instead, it had whiskey, and he also had maple syrup in there. About 20 years later, his son, Old Man Bishop's son, Young Man Bishop, I don't know, corny dad joke, he made this drink a little bit closer to what we know today. He took out that whiskey, he made triple sec, but the final version was made in the 50s by this bartender during a bartending competition, a triple sec bartending competition actually, on Long Island, where he made this drink kind of his own. And he went ahead and he put this drink that we're going to be making together, and he called it the Long Island iced tea because it was named obviously after where that competition was held. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make the Long Island iced tea. What do you say? Okay, so like I mentioned, the Long Island iced tea is a very, very boozy drink. It's obviously got a bunch of liquors in it, so we want to be responsible when we drink while also having a good time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 3/4 of an ounce of every one of our ingredients, which is still going to be nearly, probably close to 4 ounces of liquor inside this drink. So drink responsibly, be careful with it, but play with it a little bit. Maybe you like an ounce of something versus a half an ounce of something else. Maybe you want an ounce of all the liquors if this is your only drink for the rest of the weekend, right? So, but that said, let's go ahead and get this thing poured. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our vodka. Now, I picked up some vodka for the show and for my home bar. So I'm using 2 brand new bottles, one of vodka, one of tequila. So let's go ahead and get this vodka in here. So 3/4 of an ounce, let's pour it, boom, very nice. And we're gonna do the same thing across the board. All of our liquors are gonna be 3/4 of an ounce pours. So we've got our vodka, then we're moving on to rum, 3/4 of an ounce right in there. Then we're gonna move on to our tequila, and that is Silver Tequila by Jose Cuervo. Let's go ahead and get 3/4 of an ounce of that into our shaker. Now, one thing you've probably seen at bars if you've ordered the Long Island iced tea, the Long Island iced tea can be built right in the glass that you're drinking it out of. You don't have to shake it. I'm just gonna shake it because I like shaking my cocktails, but you could build it right in the drink. All you need is a cocktail spoon. Just mix that up once you got the coconut and you're good. And then finally, we've got our vodka, our rum, our tequila, our gin, and now we're gonna do 3/4 of a cup of triple sec. Let's get that in there. Cool. I've got fireworks going on outside right now. I know it's not a holiday, but apparently they're pissing Goose off a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so we've got all of our liquors. Now we need to add our simple syrup and our lemon. Now that is a sweet and sour mix. You don't need to use simple syrup and lemon. You could use a store-bought sweet and sour mix, but I wouldn't. I prefer to use my own ingredients and make what it is I'm making. So this is simple syrup, very simple, 1 part sugar, 1 part water. We're gonna do approximately 1/2 an ounce in there. And then we're going to cut our lemon and do 1/2 an ounce of lemon juice. And then I'm just going to squeeze as much of this juice into this jigger, but that's about 1/2 an ounce right there. Boom, pour it in. Okay. That's everything we need in the shaker. Now we're gonna go ahead and give that a shake. We're going to pour it over ice in our glass. Very good. Let's go ahead and strain the liquor mixture into the glass. And pour that whole thing right over ice. And you'll notice there's a good amount of space in there for our final ingredient, which is Coca-Cola. Let's go ahead and pop that open and give it a pour. And that is basically the Long Island iced tea. The only thing that we're missing is our garnish. And of course, you know I like to garnish. I'm gonna be garnishing today with a lime wedge. Let's go ahead and get that cut. Nice little lime wedge, very simple, right on the edge of the glass, bada bing. And then finally, for good measure, let's just throw our straw in there, give it a stir. And that, my friends, is the perfect Long Island iced tea. You've got 3/4 of an ounce of vodka, of rum, of tequila, of gin, and of triple sec, and of sweet and sour mix, poured over ice with some Coca-Cola and a lime wedge to garnish. And that is the Long Island iced tea. Cheers. Yeah, Goose? Is that what you think? Wow. Woo! That's a strong one. Whew. No wonder you get lit off the LITs. That is a strong and delicious beverage. You can taste the Coke in there. I'm gonna squeeze the lime in, squeeze the lime in just to get a little bit more citrus into it. Let's give that another sip. Oh yeah, people. That's what I'm talking about. Long Island iced tea, long awaited. Lots of people have asked, and I have delivered. There it is. One more time, let's go over the ingredients and let's get this show on the road. We've got 3/4 of an ounce of vodka, 3/4 of an ounce of rum, of tequila, of gin, of triple sec, a little bit of sweet and sour, which is simple syrup and lemon, garnish with a lime, pour it over ice with Coke. Boom. What a beautiful drink. Now, before I let you go, I just want to make a quick announcement. The Casual Bartender is for hire. That's right, you could have the Casual Bartender at your next party. This Saturday, I'm going to be at a friend of a friend's birthday party. I'm gonna be bartending for them And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be casual. We're going to be hanging out by the pool, and I'm going to be mixing drinks. And if you have a party coming up and you're not too far away and you're willing to have me as your bartender, please let me know. I'd be so happy to do it. I charge a lot. No, I'm just kidding. It's casual. It's cool. We hang out. We have a good time. So if you've got a party, Casual Bartender is happy to bartend for you. So let's put that together. Otherwise, have an amazing night. Have an amazing day. An awesome weekend. And more importantly than that, keep it casual. I'll see you next week. Cheers.